Scene 1. The exterior of a two-story corner building on a street in New Orleans, which is named Ellison Fields, and runs between the L&N tracks and the river. The section is poor, but unlike corresponding sections in other American cities, it has a raffish charm. The houses are mostly white frame, weathered gray, with rickety outside stairs and galleries and quaintly ornamented gables. This building contains two flats, upstairs and down. Faded white stairs ascend to the entrance of both. It is first dark of an evening early in May. The sky that shows around the dim white building is peculiarly tended blue, almost turquoise, which invests the scene with a kind of lyricism and gracefully attenuates the atmosphere of decay. You can almost feel the warm breath of the brown river beyond the river warehouses with their faint redolence of bananas and coffee. A corresponding air is evoked by the music of Negro entertainers at a bar room around the corner. In this part of New Orleans, you are particularly always just around the corner, or a few doors down the street, from a tiny piano being played with the infiltrated fluency of brown fingers. This blue piano expresses the spirit of the life which goes on here. Two women, one white and one colored, are taking the air on the steps of the building. The white woman is called Eunice, who occupies the upstairs flat. The colored woman, a neighbor, for New Orleans is a cosmopolitan city where there's a relatively warm and easy intermingling of races in the old part of town. Above the music of the blue piano, the voices of people on the street can be heard overlapping. Negro woman to Eunice. She says Saint Barnabas would send out his dog to lick her, and when he did, she will feel an icy cold wave all up and down her. Well, that night when a man to a sailor, you keep right on going and you will find it. You will hear them tapping on the shutters. Sailor to Negro woman and Eunice. Where's the 4 deuces? Vendor. Red hot, red hot. Negro woman. Don't waste your money in that clip joint. Sailor. I have got a date there. Vendor. Red hot. Negro woman. Don't let them sell you a Blue Moon cocktail or you won't go out on your own feet. Two men come around the corner. Stanley Kowalski and Mitch. They are about 28 or 30 years old, roughly dressed in blue denim work clothes. Stanley carries his bowling jacket and a red-stained package from a butcher's. Stanley to Mitch. Well, what did he say? Mitch. He said he would give us even money. Stanley. Nah, we gotta have odds. They stop at the foot of the steps. Stanley, bellowing. Hey there, Stella baby. Stella comes out on the first floor landing, a gentle young woman, about 25, and of a background obviously quite different from her husband's. Stella, mildly. Don't holler at me like that. Hi, Mitch. Stanley. Catch. Stella. What? Stanley. Meat. He haves the package at her. She cries out in protest but manages to catch it. Then she laughs breathlessly. Her husband and his companion have already started back around the corner. Stella. calling after him. Stanley, where are you going? Stanley, bowling. Stella, can I come watch? Stanley, come on. He goes out. Stella, be over soon. To the white woman, hello, Eunice. How are you? Eunice, I'm alright. Tell Steve to get him a poor boy sandwich, 'cause nothing's left there. They all laugh. The colored woman does not stop. Stella goes out. Negro woman, what was that package he threw at her? She races from steps, laughing louder. Eunice, you hush now. Negro woman, catch what? She continues to laugh. Blanche comes around the corner, carrying a valise. She looks at a slip of paper, then at the building, then again at the slip, and again at the building. Her expression is one of shocked disbelief. Her appearance is incongruous to this setting. He is daintily dressed in a white suit with a fluffy bodice, necklace, and earrings of pearl, white gloves and hat, looking as if she were arriving at a summer tea or cocktail party in the Garden District. She is about 5 years older than Stella. Her delicate beauty must avoid a strong light. There's something about her uncertain manner, as well as her white clothes, that suggests a moth. Eunice, finally. What's the matter, honey? Are you lost? Blanche, with faintly hysterical humor. They told me to take a streetcar named Desire, then transferred to one called Centimeters, and ride 6 blocks and get off at Allison Fields. Eunice, that's where you are now. Blanche, at Allison Fields? Eunice, this here is Allison Fields. Blanche, they mustn't have understood the number I wanted. Eunice, what number are you looking for? Blanche, warily refers to the slip of paper. Blanche, 632. Eunice, you don't have to look no further. Blanche, uncomprehendingly, I'm looking for my sister, Stella Dubois. I mean, Mrs. Stanley Kowalski. Eunice, that's the party. You just did miss her though. Blanche, can this be her home? Eunice, she's got the downstairs here, and I got the up. Blanche, oh, she's out? Eunice, you noticed that bowling alley around the corner? Blanche, I'm not sure I did. Eunice, well, that's where she's at, watching her husband bowl. There's a pause. You want to leave your suitcase here and go find her? Blanche, no. Negro woman, I will go tell her you come. Blanche, thanks. Negro woman, you welcome. She goes out. Eunice, she wasn't expecting you? Blanche, no, not tonight. Eunice, well, why don't you just go in and make yourself at home till they get back? Blanche, how could I do that? Eunice, we own this place, so I can let you in. She gets up and opens the downstairs door. A light goes on behind the blind, turning it light blue. Blanche slowly follows her into the downstairs flat. The surrounding areas dim out as the interior is lighted. 2 rooms can be seen, not too clearly defined. The one just entered is primarily a kitchen, but contains a folding bed to be used by Blanche. The room beyond this is a bedroom. Off this room is a narrow door to a bathroom. Eunice, defensively, noticing Blanche's look. It's sort of messed up right now, but when it's clean, it's real sweet. Blanche. Is it? Eunice. Uh-huh. I think so. So you're Stella's sister? Blanche. Yes. Wanting to get rid of her. Thanks for letting me in. Eunice. Por nada. As the Mexican says, por nada. Stella spoke of you. Blanche. Yes? Eunice. I think she said you taught school. Blanche. Yes. Eunice. And you're from Mississippi, huh? Blanche. Yes. Eunice. She showed me a picture of you home place at the plantation. Blanche. Bella Reef? Eunice. A great big place with white columns. Blanche. Yes. Eunice. A place that must be awful hard to keep on. Blanche. If you will excuse me, I'm just about to drop. Eunice. Sure, honey. Why don't you sit down? Eunice. Blanche. What I meant was I would like to be left alone. Eunice. Offended. Oh, I make myself scarce in that case. Blanche. I didn't mean to be rude, but... Eunice. I would drop by the bowling alley and hustle her up. She goes out of the door. Blanche sits in a chair very stiffly with her shoulders slightly hunched and her legs pressed close together, and her hands tightly clutched her paws as if she were quite cold. After a while, the blind look goes out of her eyes, and she begins to look slowly around. A cat scratches. She catches her breath with a startled gesture. Suddenly, she notices something in a half-open closet. She springs up and crosses to it and removes a whiskey bottle. She pours a half tumbler of whiskey and tosses it down. She carefully replaces the bottle and washes out the tumbler at the sink. Then she resumes her seat in front of the table. Blanche, faintly to herself, I've got to keep hold of myself. Stella comes quickly around the corner of the building and runs to the door of the downstairs flat. Stella, calling out joyfully, Blanche! For a moment, they stare at each other. Then Blanche springs up and runs at her with a wild cry. Blanche! Stella! Oh, Stella! Stella for Star! She begins to speak with feverish vivacity as if she feared to either of them to stop and think. They catch each other in a spasmodic embrace. Blanche. Now, then, let me look at you. But don't you look at me, Stella. No, no, no. Not till later. Not till I have bathed and rested. And turn that overlight off. Turn that off. I won't be looked at in this merciless glare. Stella laughs and complies. Come back here now. Oh, my baby, Stella, Stella for Star. She embraces her again. I thought you would never come back to this horrible place. What am I saying? I didn't mean to say that. I meant to be nice about it and say, oh, what a convenient location and such. Ha ha. Precious lamb, you haven't said a word to me. Stella. You haven't given me a chance to, honey. She laughs, but her glance at Blanche is a little anxious. Blanche. Well, now you talk. Open your pretty mouth and talk while I looked around for some liquor. I know you must have some liquor on the place. Where could it be, I wonder? Oh, I spy. She rushes to the closet and removes the bottle. She is shaking all over and panting for breath as she tries to laugh. The bottle nearly slips from her grasp. Stella, noticing. Blanche, you sit down and let me pour the drinks. I don't know what we have got to mix with. Maybe a Coke's in the icebox. Look and see, honey, while I'm Blanche. No Coke, honey. Not with my nerves tonight. Where's Stella? Stanley? Bowling. He loves it. They are having a found some soda tournament. Blanche. Just water, baby, to chase it. Now, don't get worried. Your sister hasn't turned into a drunkard. She's just all shaken up and hot and tired and dirty. You sit down now and explain this place to me. What are you doing in this place like this? Stella. Now, Blanche. Oh, I'm not going to be hypocritical. I'm going to be honestly critical about it. Never in my worst dream could I picture. Only Edgar Allan Poe could do it justice. Out there, I suppose, is the ghoul-haunted woodland of where? She laughs. Stella. No, honey, those are the L&N tracks. Blanche. No, seriously, putting jokes aside. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you write me, honey? Why didn't you let me know? Stella, carefully, pouring herself a drink. Tell you what, Blanche. Why that you had to live in these conditions? Stella, aren't you being a little intense about it? It's not that bad at all. New Orleans isn't like other cities. Blanche, this has got nothing to do with New Orleans. You might as well say, forgive me, blast the baby. She suddenly stops short. The subject is closed. Stella, a little dryly, thanks. Drinking the pause. Blanche stares at her. She smiles at Blanche. Blanche, looking down at her glass, which shakes in her hand. You are all I have got in the world, and you are not glad to see me. Stella, secretly. Why, Blanche? You know that's not true. Blanche. No? I would forgotten how quiet you were. Stella. You never did give me a chance to say much, Blanche, so I just got in the habit of being quiet around you. Blanche. Vaguely. A good habit to get into. Then abruptly. You haven't asked me how I happened to get away from the school before the spring term ended. Stella. Well, I thought you would volunteer that information if you wanted to tell me. Blanche. You thought I would be fired? Stella. No, I thought you might have resigned. Blanche. I was so exhausted by all I would been through, my nerves broke. Nervously tapping cigarette. I was on the verge of lunacy almost. So Mr. Graves is the high school superintendent. He suggested I take a leave of absence. I couldn't put all of those details into the wire. She drinks quickly. Oh, this buzzed right through me and feels so good. Stella, won't you have another? Blanche, no, one's my limit. Stella, sure. Blanche, you haven't said a word about my appearance. Stella, you look just fine. Blanche, God love you for a liar. Daylight never exposed so total a ruin. But you have put on some weight. Yes, you are just as plump as a little partridge, and it's so becoming to you. Stella. Now, Blanche. Blanche. Yes, it is. It is, or I wouldn't say it. You just have to watch around the hips a little. Stand up. Stella. Not now. Blanche. You hear me? I said stand up. Stella complies reluctantly. You messy child, you have split something on that pretty white last collar about your hair. You ought to have it cut in a feathered bob with your dainty features, Stella. You have a maid, don't you? Stella. No, with only 2 rooms, it's Blanche. What? 2 rooms? Did you say? Stella. This one, and she is embarrassed. Blanche. The other one? She laughs sharply. There's an embarrassed silence. How quiet you are. You're so peaceful. Look how you sit there with your little hands folded like a cherub in Shire. Stella, uncomfortably. I never had anything like your energy, Blanche. Blanche. Well, I never had your beautiful self-control. I'm going to take just one tiny nip more, sort of to put the stopper on, so to speak. Then put the bottle away so I won't be tempted. She rises. I want you to look at my figure. She turns around. You know I haven't put on 1 ounce in 10 years, Stella. I waited the summer you left Bella Reef, the summer Dad died, and you left us. Stella, a little wearily. It's just incredible, Blanche. How well you are looking. Blanche. You see, I still have that awful vainly about my looks even now that my looks are slipping. She laughs nervously and glances at Stella for reassurance. Stella. Dutifully. They haven't slipped one particle. Blanche. After all I have been through, you think I believe that story? Blessed child. She touches her forehead shakily. Stella, there's only the 2 rooms. Stella, and a bathroom. Blanche. Oh, you do have a bathroom. First floor to the right at the top of the stairs. They both laugh uncomfortably. But Stella, I don't see where you are going to put me. Stella, we are going to put you in here. Blanche. What kind of bed is this? One of those collapsible things? She sits on it. Stella. Does it feel right? Blanche. Duboisly. Wonderful, honey. I don't like a bed that gives much, but there's no door between the 2 rooms. And Stanley, will it be decent? Stella. Stanley is Polish, you know. Blanche. Oh yes, they are something like Irish, aren't they? Stella. Well, Blanche. Only not so highbrow. They both laughed again in the same way. I brought some nice clothes to meet all your lovely friends in. Stella. I'm afraid you won't think they are lovely. Blanche. What are they like? Stella. They are Stanley's friend. Blanche. Polacks? Stella. They are mixed a lot, Blanche. Blanche. Heterogeneous types? Stella. Oh yes, types is right. Blanche. Well, anyhow, I brought nice clothes and I will wear them. I guess you are hoping I would say I will put up at a hotel, but I'm not going to put up at a hotel. I want to be near you, got to be with somebody. I can't be alone because As you must have noticed, I'm not very. Her voice drops, and her look is frightened. Stella, you seem a little bit nervous or overwrought or something. Blanche, will Stanley like me, or will I be just a visiting in law? Stella, I couldn't stand that. Stella, you will get along fine together if you will just try not to, well, compare him with men that we went out with at home. Blanche, is he so different? Stella, ah yes, a different species. Blanche, in what way? What's he like? Stella, oh, you can't describe someone you are in love with. Here's a picture of him. She hands a photograph to Blanche. Blanche, an officer? Stella, a master sergeant in the engineer's corps. Those are decorations. Blanche, he had those on when you met him? Stella, I assume I wasn't just blinded by all the brass. Blanche, that's not what I. Stella, but of course there were things to adjust myself to later on. Blanche, such as his civilian background. Stella laughs uncertainly. How did he take it when you said I was coming? Stella, oh, Stanley doesn't know yet. Blanche, frightened, you haven't told him? Stella, he's on the road a great deal. Blanche, oh, travels? Stella, yes. Blanche, good, isn't it? Stella, half to herself, I can hardly stand it when he's away for night. Blanche, why, Stella? Stella, when he's away for a week, I nearly go wild. Blanche, gracious. Stella, and when he comes back, I cry on his lap like a baby. She smiles to herself. Blanche, I guess that is what I meant by being in love. Stella looks up with a radiant smile. Stella, what? Stella, about Blanche, in an uneasy rush. I haven't asked you the things you probably thought I was going to ask, and so I expected you to be understanding about what I have to tell you. Stella, what, Blanche? Her face turned anxious. Blanche, well, Stella, you are going to be reproached to me. I know that you are bound to reproach me, but before you do, take into consideration. You left. I stayed and struggled. You came to New Orleans and looked out for yourself. I stayed at Belle Reef and tried to hold it together. I'm not meaning this is any reproachful way, but all the burden described on my shoulders. Stella, the best I could do was make my own living, Blanche. Blanche began to shake again with intensity. Blanche, I know, but you are the one that abandoned Belle Reef, not I. I stayed and fought for it, battled for it, almost dead for it, died for it. Stella, stop this hysterical outburst and tell me what happened. What do you mean fought and bled? What kind of. Blanche, I knew you would, Stella. I knew you would take this attitude about it. Stella, about what? Please. Blanche, slowly. The loss. Stella, Belle Reef? Lost? Is it? No. Blanche, yes, Stella. They stared at each other across the yellow-checked linoleum of the table. Blanche slowly nods her head, and Stella looks slowly down at her hands folded on the table. The music of the blue piano grows louder. Blanche touches her handkerchief to her forehead. Stella, but how did it go? What happened? Blanche, springing up. You're fine. You are a fine one to ask me how it went. Stella. Blanche. Blanche. You are a fine one to sit there accusing me of it. Stella. Blanche. Blanche. I took the blows in my face and my body of these death, the long parade to the graveyard, father, mother, Margaret, and dreadful way, so big with it, it couldn't be put in a coffin, but had to be burned like rubbish. You just came home in time for the funeral, Stella. And funerals are pretty compared to death. Funerals are quiet, but deaths not always. Sometimes their breathing is hoarse, and sometimes it rattles, and sometimes they even cry out to you, "Don't let me go." Even the old sometimes said, "Don't let me go," as you were able to stop them. But funerals are quiet, with pretty flowers, and oh, what gorgeous boxes they packed them away in, unless you were there at the bed when they cried out, "Hold me." You would never suspect there was the struggle for breath and bleeding. You didn't dream, but I saw, and now you sit there telling me with your eyes that I let the place go. How in hell do you think all that sickness and dying was paid for? Death is expensive, Mrs. Stella, and old cousin Jessie's right after Margaret's, hers. Why, the Grim Reaper had put up his tent on our doorstep. Stella, Bella Reef was his headquarters, honey. That's how it slipped through my fingers. Which of them left us a fortune? Which of them left a cent of insurance even? Only poor Jessie, 100 to pay for her coffin, and that was all, Stella. And with my pitiful salary at school, yes, accuse me, sit there and stare at me, thinking I let the place go. I let the place go? Where were you? In bed with your Polak. Stella, spring. Blanche, you be still. That's enough. She starts out. Blanche, where are you going? Stella, I'm going into the bathroom to wash my face. Stella, oh, Stella, you're crying. Stella, does that surprise you? Stella goes into the bathroom. Outside the sound of men's voices, Stanley, Steve, and Mitch cross the foot of the steps. Steve, and the old lady is on her way to mass and she's late, and there's a cop standing in front of them church, and she comes running up and says, "Officer, is mass out yet?" He looks her over and says, "No, lady, but your hat's on croaked." They give a hoarse bellow of laughter. Steve, playing poker tomorrow night? Stanley, yeah, at Mitch, not at my place. My mother's still sick. He starts off. Stanley, calling after him, "All right, we play at my place, but you bring the beer." Eunice, hollering down from above, "Break it up down there. I made the spaghetti dish and ate it myself." Steve, going upstairs, "I told you and phoned you we was playing." To the man, "Jack's beer." Eunice, "You never phoned me once." Steve, "I told you at breakfast and phoned you at lunch." Eunice, "Well, never mind about that. You just get yourself home and once in a while." Steve, "You want it in the papers?" More laughter and shouts of parting come from the man. Stanley throws the screen door of the kitchen open and comes in. He is one of medium height, about 5 feet 8 or 9, and strongly, compactly built. Animal joy in his being is implicit in all his movements and attitudes. Since earliest manhood, The center of his life has been pleasure with woman, the giving and taking of it, not with weak indulgence dependently, but with the power and pride of a richly feathered male bird among hens. Branching out from this complete and satisfying center are all the auxiliary channels of his life, such as his heartiness with men, his appreciation of rough humor, his love of good drink and food and games, his car, his radio, everything that is his, that bears his emblem of the godly seed bearer. He sees woman up at a glance, with sexual classification, crude images flashing into his mind and determining the way he smiles at them. Blanche, drawing involuntarily back from his stare. You must be Stanley. I'm Blanche. Stanley. Stella's sister? Blanche. Yes. Stanley. Hello. Where's the little woman? Blanche. In the bathroom. Stanley. Oh, didn't know you were coming in town. Blanche. Stanley. Where you from, Blanche? Blanche. Why, I live in L'Oreal. He has crossed to the closet and removed the whiskey bottle. Stanley. In Laurel, huh? Oh yeah, in Laurel. That's right. Not in my territory. Liquor goes fast in hot weather. He holds the bottle to the light and observed in depletion. Have a shot? Blanche. No, I rarely touch it. Stanley. Some people rarely touch it, but it touches them often. Blanche, faintly. Ha ha. Stanley. My clothes are sticking to me. Do you mind if I make myself comfortable? He starts to remove his shirt. Blanche. Please do. Stanley. Be comfortable is my motto. Blanche. It's mine too. It's hard to stay looking fresh. I haven't washed or even powdered my face, and here you are. Stanley. You know you can catch cold sitting around in damp things, especially when you have been exercising hard like bowling is. You're a teacher, aren't you? Blanche. Yes. Stanley. What do you teach, Blanche? Blanche. English. Stanley. I never was a good English student. How long are you here for, Blanche? Blanche. I don't know yet. Stanley. You going to shack up here? Blanche. I thought I would if it's not convenient for you all. Stanley. Good. Blanche. Traveling wears me out. Stanley. Well, take it easy. A cat scratches near the window. Blanche springs up. Blanche. What's that? Stanley. Cat. Hey, Stella. Stella. Faintly from the bathroom. Yes, Stanley. Stanley. Haven't fallen in, have you? He grins at Blanche. She tries unsuccessfully to smile back. There's a silence. I'm afraid I will strike you as being the unrefined type. Stella spoke of you a good deal. You were married once, haven't you? The music of the polka rises up, faint in the distance. Blanche. Yes, when I was quite young. Stanley. What happened? Blanche. The boy dead. She sinks back down. I'm afraid I'm going to be sick. Her head falls on her arms.